to avoid relationships, distrust men, and prioritize career or lifestyle over family and partnership. But what seems like empowerment on the surface often has deeper consequences that many young women don't see until it's too late. One where the message comes from. Many older women who push the stay single philosophy are doing so from a place of personal experience, failed relationships, divorce, and bitterness toward men. But instead of saying, I made choices that didn't work out, learn from my mistakes, the message often turns into, don't trust men. You don't need a relationship. Stay single. Men will only hold you back. This advice may feel supportive, but it's not always rooted in wisdom. Sometimes it's rooted in regret or jealousy. Two, the advice sounds empowering, but leaves out the full truth. Telling young women to focus only on career, freedom, or self-pleasure ignores the long-term reality that many women naturally desire partnership, stability, emotional intimacy, and family. What's rarely discussed is that the older women giving the advice are often not happy with the outcome of their choices. Many would trade peace for companionship if they could do it again. They are speaking from pain, not success. The younger women listening don't see the loneliness, regret, or isolation that often follows decades of independence with no support system later in life. Three, the result, young women misled by incomplete lessons. When older women tell younger women to stay single, they often leave out the emotional and financial benefits of healthy partnership, the reality of aging without a spouse, children, or support system, the fact that career success does not replace personal connection, the risk of waiting too long to decide about family, commitment, or marriage. Some older women are protecting their ego, not the next generation. Or why this creates a cycle of regret. Instead of helping younger women avoid mistakes, this type of advice creates new mistakes. Young women enter their 30s and 40s having never built relationship skills. Many want husbands and kids later, but their options are fewer. They now face emotional pressure that older women once faced with the same outcomes. In other words, bad advice gets recycled, and so does the regret. For many older women, the stay single mindset wasn't born from strength, but instead of processing and healing from what happened, many began to wear that pain as pride, turning it into a moral code they now preach to the younger generation. We are now seeing a culture of emotional walls, women who refuse to receive love, not because they don't want it, but because they were taught that needing someone makes them weak. The concept of strength has been redefined into isolation, and that's where the damage begins. Needing someone is human. Wanting connection isn't weakness. It's part of what makes life meaningful. But when younger women are conditioned to see dependence as a flaw, they unknowingly sabotage their own chances at healthy relationships. Another layer of the problem is pride, not the confident kind, but the defensive kind. Many older single women have been told for so long that independence equals worth, that admitting loneliness feels like failure. So instead of vulnerability, they model denial. They'll say, I'm good by myself, even as they struggle with depression or financial strain. This performance of strength becomes the blueprint younger women mimic, thinking that pretending to be okay is the same thing as being strong. It's not. Pretending to be fine when you're breaking inside doesn't make you strong. It makes you detached. The generational disconnect deepens because the younger women often idolize the image of independence without understanding the cost. They see the external confidence, but not the internal exhaustion. Many older women never had the luxury of balance. They were taught to survive, not to thrive. They never got the space to heal before giving advice. So now they're passing down lessons built on pain rather than growth. And when pain becomes the foundation, every generation ends up repeating the same loneliness, just with better clothes and newer slogans. It's important to recognize the danger is that they're often passing down fear instead of wisdom. There's also a cultural factor. Society rewards the image of the strong, independent woman while ignoring her struggles. Songs, movies, and social media all glorify being alone, as if asking for is regretful. So when older women reinforce that narrative,
what's up,
they're
y'all?
offering a system that benefits from
All right, so I take supreme pride in knowing that where we're at today I take supreme pride in knowing where we're at today is that men, we're not okay. I turned off the Wi-Fi. Maybe I thought maybe it was trying to connect to whatchamacallit. So let me see. All right, we'll see what we got. All right, so we're here today because, again, women in 2025, they act as if they have no idea. They try to act as if they have no idea why nobody wants them. They try has this mythical reason as to why they are doing what they're doing. I can only say kudos to all the individuals that have allowed these women to come on their platform and talk to them as if they think that they're going to get some sensible feedback from a woman. If you listen to a woman and a woman is not for an understanding relationship, which starts with understanding that the curriculum of women is trash, then I don't know why you would invite that woman on your platform other than to gain views and get another example of just how delusional women are. That's the only reason why I think anybody would invite a woman to come to your platform. You really want exposure as just how delusional women are. Because there is no way on this planet you could tell me that the curriculum that you see with women is curriculum that you would say, yeah, I can dig that. You can't. So I'm gonna let her play some more.
Harsh truth that many modern women don't actually want a husband's authority. They only want the benefits of a man's leadership, provision, and stability without accepting the structure, discipline, or responsibility that comes with it. It's a reality that's unfolding right in front of us, yet society keeps pretending not to notice. For years, women were told they could have everything on their own terms. All the perks of partnership without any of the compromise. They were encouraged to reject male leadership while still expecting men to show up as protectors, providers, and emotional anchors.
Let me tell you an example of this perspective. I would meet a woman, or you would go on a dating site, and you will see a woman that will literally tell you, I'm a BBW, I'm a proud BBW, take me as I am. So let me come at that for a second. A woman that knows fat is a problem, but instead of fixing said problem, she tells you, you need to accept me how I am. See how they flipped that? They didn't say, I love eating ice cream. Although I'm lactose intolerant, I may pass gas when I'm around you. So don't be around me when I eat ice cream. Nope. They go to the one thing that they know is the despicable thing to be. They know they touch bases on the one thing that completely exposes their lack of discipline. And you brought it. Let her say some more.
But what we're seeing now is the deep tension created when empowerment is mixed with entitlement, when independence is confused with insubordination, and when relationships are approached as partnerships and negotiation tables where only her side gets to set the terms.
Ooh.
In this conversation, we're breaking down how this mindset has...
How beautifully articulated. You are in, and I've been saying this, you guys are in relationships with women that come to the table for negotiation terms where only her terms is being executed. Did I not say, and have been saying for the longest, at 56 years old, every individual that I've seen get married past their 30s always went with the woman. Every black man that I've seen, when they got married, he moved into her house. Every black man that I've seen always accepted the terms and conditions that she set forth. And I can tell because I know these individuals, and they go ahead and fall for the very things that for decades they've been saying, if a B do this, well, she can do that. If a B do this, I'm gonna do that. And then all of a sudden, they get married under the terms and accept a shit list of things that they used to say, nah, if she do that, I'm out of here. Nope, now that's out the window. It's out the window. You gotta understand this.
Reshape dating, marriage expectations, and the dynamic between men and women. We'll explore why so many women love the idea of a strong man, but reject the structure that comes with a strong man. Why they crave stability, but resent the accountability required to maintain it. And how the cultural push for autonomy without boundaries has produced a generation that wants protection without submission, provision without cooperation, and marriage without hierarchy. At the end of the day, authority and responsibility are inseparable. You cannot demand the outcomes of leadership while refusing the order that produces them.
Ooh.
And what's unfolding now? The rise in relationship breakdowns, declining marriages, and frustrated men walking away is the direct fallout of a mindset that wants to harvest the fruit while rejecting the root.
I like that.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
I like that. I want to listen to that again. Wow.
Like the video, drop a comment, and share the fallout of a mindset that produces them. And what's unfolding now? Authority and responsibility are in section without submission, provision without cooperation, maintain it. And how the cultural push for autonomy without boundaries has produced a generation that wants protection without submission, provision without cooperation, and marriage without hierarchy. At the end of the day, authority and responsibility are inseparable. You cannot demand the outcomes of leadership while refusing the order that produces them. And what's unfolding?
You can't reject leadership while at the same time, you can't want leadership while at the same time rejecting the order that produces. You can't expect freedom while rejecting the rules that produce them. Let me run that back. I'm sorry.
Now, authority and responsibility are inseparable. You cannot demand the outcomes of leadership while refusing the order that produces them.
Damn.
And what's unfolding next?
Wow. That statement alone is the reason why you see so many fat, out of shape black women. That right there is the reason why you see so many black women fat, sloppy, stank, and out of shape. You see this because they have absolutely no interest in discipline. You know, I know women that are beautiful. Their lifestyle and everything about them is 0% black bullshit of black women, but their allegiance is to it. You heard what I just said? And listen, the reason why I don't have a black woman, and these are all the things that I know that I'm not going to. These are all the things that I know that I am not going to act as if don't exist. So these are all the things that dropped my tolerance. The longer I lived and notices that, oh, women don't want men like me, my tolerance dropped. Because let me be specific. Oh, women want to be fat and sloppy and just say, just get me how I am. My tolerance for them dropped. Oh, a woman will tell you, oh, this is my baby, but you can't discipline them. My tolerance has dropped. I have heard so much fuck shit about them because I now know, and I said to myself, you are not going to exercise none of the fuck shit and think you're going to even have my phone number, let alone be in a relationship with me. So my tolerance dropped. And so it is amazing, again, to see women, black women. I know them. Don't wear weave. Don't talk that Shaquita shit. Don't listen to shake your ass rap music. Got beautiful careers, but is plugged into the sisterhood like a TV to an outlet. You heard what I just said? Don't wear weave. Don't listen to shake your ass nigga music. Got good paying jobs, but is plugged into the sisterhood like a TV to an outlet. They are not under zero terms going to surrender their membership to the sisterhood. And when I see this, I say to myself, okay, that's what you want. That's what it is. Cool. I'm not interested in you, not even a little bit. When I see them, I'll be like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't know this now. You know, one of the things about the music industry, and I'm not going to say now, but I'm going to say from the 40s, 50s, and 60s to the 90s, we got to understand and heard the individuals that is in the industry, the individuals that is in the industry, got to understand the business and understood the business. And the number one thing about making your music was to get your masters. Don't be that person making all this music for the industry while getting raped. So what we seen in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s, and in the 80s, gosh, how did I forget that? Because the rap group Run DMC, when they signed a deal with Profile Records, Run DMC was getting 35 cents a copy. You hear me? They were getting 35 cents a copy. So for every album that Run DMC sold, they were getting 35 cents. A person like Slim Thug or a Baby from Cash Money was getting $10 a copy. This is why they sold one album and was like making money millionaires. Run DMC had to make their money out on the streets. I mean, in concerts. So the change is what I'm getting at. And what I'm saying also is once information about something gets out, the next generation moves different. You don't see that with these women. Because the older generation are dog walking the younger generation into this nonsense.
Now, the rise in relationship breakdowns, declining marriages, and frustrated men walking away is the direct fallout of a mindset that wants to harvest the fruit while rejecting the root. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, and share this discussion. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit the thanks button. Just click the 3 dots under the video, and you'll see it right there.
This woman right here, Virtuous Woman 1969, this is where I'm getting it at. I'm going to put her link at the bottom of the video later on, but this is where I'm getting her information from. So listen.
They want the benefits without the structure. Let's stop sugarcoating it. Modern society has conditioned many women to reject any form of male leadership while still expecting every perk that traditionally came from male leadership. They want the protection, the stability, the emotional consistency, the financial backbone, but not the structure, not the accountability, and definitely not the authority that makes those things possible. Woo! We're living in a time where countless women want partnership with zero sacrifice, marriage with zero hierarchy, and commitment with zero responsibility.
When she says marriage with no hierarchy, women want marriage with no hierarchy. That's what y'all hear when these women scream that we are equal. You can go ahead and believe that nonsense if you want. I ain't never listening to no woman tell me we equal. It's not happening. Equal means roommate. So on garbage night, you take Tuesdays, and I take Fridays. We're equal. It's not happening. And you don't get that here in America no more. What this woman, Virtuous Woman 1969, what she is saying is what a lot of you fall for when you get into a relationship with these women. You fall for it. You sit down there and you accept every perspective and narrative, as she stated earlier. They bring negotiations to the table and only tell you what they want, while rejecting everything that you want. I don't understand it. When I hear somebody say they get married, I just don't understand it. I don't.
It's a fantasy model of relationships, one created by a culture that teaches that any boundary, any expectation, any leadership from a man is inherently oppressive. 1, no man tells me what to do, even if it ruins the relationship. Today's mindset is built on defiance. It's not about equality, it's about control. Authority is automatically assumed to be abuse, even when it isn't. The moment a man sets a standard, expresses a preference, or tries to lead, many women interpret it as controlling, toxic, outdated, restrictive. So relationships end up directionless because nobody...
They sure do. I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick about this woman that I used to date that had a baby. And her baby father wasn't helping her out with the baby at all. She didn't even have him on child support. So I was like, you know, if we making it anything, you know, you ain't no man stepping to you without a child support order from the guy that you had the baby with. She was like, I ain't. She just came up with all these no reasons. Like for months, it was no reasons. And I just was like letting her know, this relationship is not going to the next step if you don't put a child support on this dude. And I'm gonna tell you my projection and my thoughts in this. You love him so much, you letting him get off. I have this belief that these women love these no good dudes so much that they ain't gonna put them on child support. You can come back and get the pussy whenever you want. Oh, this and all that. So it's the kid was 5 years old. And she said that the last time he gave her money for the child was 10 months ago. And the last time he asked her for money, he said no. He asked her for $10 to get the child, to get him a haircut. And he said he didn't have it. Comes to find out, dude was making $60,000 a year in overtime. He worked for DuPont and he did $66,000 in overtime. Dude was getting $50 an hour and did $66,000 in overtime when she took him down to child support and found out. And she called me up crying. When she had to go to the child support hearing that day, she called me up crying. I said, you got a victory. What you crying about? She said, because when I asked him for that $10, he said he didn't have it. And I think she was crying because she realized just how much he didn't give a fuck about his kid. You made $66,000 in overtime, and the last time you gave me money was 10 months ago. And then in between there, I asked you for $10 and you said you didn't have it. So that really brought her into a shock mind reality. But this is this is what happens when you deal with these creatures that try and act as if they want harmony. You deal with these individuals to try to act as if they want to be in a relationship when they don't. You guys got to understand. You guys got to understand what you're dealing with. I'm gonna give you another example. When I say you guys got to understand what you're dealing with. One day when I used to have my dog, my boxer, I was at McDonald's. I went to McDonald's, and of course I parked up at the glass, and the woman that she seen me pull up, she said, "Wow, you got that's a boxer, right?" Yeah. It was a girl right next to her that works in McDonald's. And she said, "I got a dog too." And she said, "What kind of dog you got?" She said, "Pit." Like, pit bull is the dog to have. She was like, "Pit." Like, I ain't got to say no more. I got a pit, right? What comes with owning a pit bull? What comes with owning a pit bull? Well, if you got a home, hire homeowners insurance. If you got renters insurance, hire renters insurance. You don't get to own something that has a high risk with a low risk coverage. So these women, they run around here and they deal with these bums, act like they have no idea they're going to be a single mom. Act like they have no idea, oh, you in this one by yourself, baby. They have no idea. They'll act like, oh no, I got me a deadbeat dad, but I got a good one. I got a thug, I got a street dude, but I got a good one. No, he's a street dude. As I stated earlier, or yesterday, well, I did a video earlier, you probably ain't see it yet. It is just unbelievable how I am a mechanic, but I think for some reason, me being a mechanic in a relationship, that's supposed to get me, I'm a good person to be in a relationship points. As if these creatures run around here and say they have a degree. Makes them a better person because they got a degree. I'm gonna let her continue.
He is allowed to guide anything, but it as controlling, toxic, outdated, restrictive. So relationships end up directionless because nobody is allowed to guide anything. But somehow the women in these situations still expect the man to be responsible for everything that goes wrong. Too many want leadership only when it benefits them.
Oh.
There's a selective rebellion happening. A woman doesn't want a man's authority, yet she expects him to be financially stable, him to be emotionally strong, him to protect the home, him to take charge whenever she's tired, him to fix crises she can't handle. So the man is expected to carry the weight, but without the respect that traditionally came with carrying it. It's authority on demand. Lead when she wants you to, shut up when she doesn't. 3, the culture told women freedom is more important than family. Women today are trained to put independence over stability, career over connection, and personal comfort over partnership.
I'm looking at this right here, and I want y'all to look at what it says. Look at what it says. Wives, your disrespect to your husband is a cut to his heart that bleed out the love he had for you. You guys, there are women that can speak for you. If you had a problem with your woman and you're in your car, I would be listening to a video that's uplifting you, telling you about the problems that you're having with that creature. I truly think, and then I'm gonna let her continue. I truly think that I am a perfect specimen to talk about this, in which I do. The reason why, I live this life that I talk. I do. I live this life that I talk. Not just today. I'm not some rehabbed individual that now seen God, and I live this life that I'm selling. I live it. And the respect that's supposed to be given to such said life, I'm not allowing anybody to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this today. Nobody talks bad to me. You talk bad to me, that was the last time you talked bad to me. I am not accepting disrespect under no circumstances. None. It ain't happening. For no reason. There's no, you got to understand she had a bad, I don't give a fuck about a woman having a bad day. I don't give a fuck. I don't. You tell me what's wrong, we're going to help, we're going to fix the problem. You don't get to take it out on me. Not happening. Not happening.
They were told you don't need a man. Don't compromise for anyone over stability, career over connection, and personal comfort over partnership. They were told you don't need a man. Don't compromise for anyone. Your happiness comes first. That sounds empowering until reality hits. No relationship can survive when the woman refuses compromise, refuses structure, and refuses any form of shared decision-making. Marriage cannot function when individual freedom is treated as sacred and collective responsibility is treated as oppression. For authority isn't the problem, discipline is. Let's be blunt. A lot of modern women reject authority because it forces them to be accountable. And accountability is the one thing modern society told them they never have to deal with.
Very, very well said. I'm gonna tell y'all how strong that statement is, what she just said. I'm gonna tell y'all how strong that is. I did a video the other day and I said, and I quote, women will sit down there and tell you all the ain'ts. All the ain'ts. You will meet a woman today and she will hit you with a shitload of ain'ts. I ain't doing this. I don't do that. I ain't. And then you're supposed to move forward and say, okay, being that you gave me all the ain'ts, this is how I got to deal with you. Every woman, and I mean every woman that I've dealt with in the last 25 years, all they did was sit down there and tell me the ain'ts. I'm just telling you now, I ain't doing that. I had one woman tell me, you go to the gym, because I'm telling you now, I don't do all that eating good stuff and working out stuff. I don't do all that. I said, did I ask you about that? She was like, yeah, all y'all men stay in shape. That's all y'all do. I said, listen, you don't work out. That I can clearly see that. So I'm not going to ask you to do nothing. I know clearly it's against your will. I mean, I crush them. I annihilate them. I don't know how disrespect man culture got so big. How? How did disrespect man culture get so big? That to me is appalling.
It means following a plan is them to be accountable. And accountability is the one thing modern society told them they never have to deal with. Authority means following a plan, sacrificing impulse, respecting decision, operating within structure. But the culture has raised women to believe they should never be inconvenienced, never be questioned, never be told no, and never be expected to follow anyone's direction but their own. So of course, authority looks offensive. It directly clashes with the self-centered worldview they were taught. Why weak men made this worse. Many women don't respect authority because too many.
That's how it got. I just said, I don't know how the disrespect man culture got so big. Weak men made it worse. Boom. I spoke it, put it out there. The answer was soonly given thereafter. Weak men have took this perspective and narrative that women have, and it snowballed into what it is today. This is why when women meet a man like me, they be like, you two this, you two that. I don't give 2 fucks about 5 dams and about 50 or 60. Who cares about what the fuck you think about me? You're a woman. Stay in your fucking place. That's my answer to everything, by the way. When it comes to women trying to check me, you're a woman. Stay in your fucking place. Yeah.
Men stopped acting like leaders. Modern men are often passive, indecisive, apologetic for having standards, or terrified of being labeled controlling. When men stopped leading, women stopped trusting leadership. And a vacuum of male leadership created a generation that doesn't even understand what healthy authority looks like. They only understand extremes. Tyranny on one end, chaos on the other. 6, social media built a fantasy world. Women are drowning in a constant feed of boss chick influencers who live off sponsorships and delusion, telling them they should never compromise, never follow, never adjust, never accept male leadership.
Right.
Yet these same influencers can't keep a relationship lasting 6 months. The mindset is simple. A woman should have full authority over herself and over the man, while the man has none. That's not equal.
You heard that? The woman should have full authority over herself and the man, while the man should have none. So a lot of individuals will say, yeah, you know, you 56 and you're not married. Look at the culture. Look at the culture. People, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in Desert Storm, we went into this landmine, this field with landmines. And at the beginning of the convoy, they had what they call a landmine digger. Let's say the tank was this wide. The landmine forks that was on the front of the tank, it was like that big. So every vehicle was behind that tank. That tank was creating the way. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all a picture of this thing. It would look crazy. Military, I'll call it military. It was a regular old M1A1 tank, but they just put a landmine thing on it. Let me see if I can show you a picture of it. The thing looked crazy. Look at this motherfucker. Yo, this thing look fucking crazy, man. They got some new stuff to put on the front of them now. These little skis looking things. They ain't have them on there when I was in the Gulf. Wow. That's it right there. That clears the landmines. So that right there would lead the convoy. All the trucks would follow him. Nobody, and I mean nobody, would make new tracks. Every vehicle would follow that tank. So they told us, do not, under circumstances 0, get off the tank, make new track. We goes into, I forgot, I don't remember where we was at. It wasn't in my unit anyway, so it wasn't a guy in my unit. He was in 1-5 Cav. I was with the 1st Cavalry Division. He was with the 1st Cavalry 1-5 Cav. I was with 1st Cavalry Bravo Company 15-4 support. So we goes in there, and the dude in 1-5 Cav decide he wants to take a piss. Opens up the tank. He probably was about 100 vehicles back. and he jumps off the tank to take a piss and blows up. He landed on a landmine. My point, the playing field of women, there are too many landmines. There are too many. There are way too many. Too many landmines. Too many of these, what the fuck is you going to deal with? It's just too many. The playing field of relationships to an American woman, especially a black woman, it's just too shitty. It's too much. It's too much. You'd be an absolute ass to try and date somebody today and hoping it ain't that woman, hoping that you don't get a relationship with one of those women, the women that she's talking about, the women that other women claim don't exist, will laugh at you. I don't know what type of woman you deal with. This woman is saying that these women exist, right?
A relationship. That's not empowerment. That's entitlement disguised as it and over the man, while the man has none. That's not equality. Keep a relationship lasting 6 months. The mindset is simple. A woman should have full authority over herself and over the man, while the man has none. That's not equality. That's not a relationship. That's not empowerment. That's entitlement disguised as independence. 7, you can't reject authority and expect traditional results. A relationship without structure is chaos. A marriage without roles is a war. A household without leadership is unstable. You cannot build a long-term partnership on I do what I want. No one can guide me. I don't follow anyone. Everything must go my way. Many women are learning this the hard way as dating becomes more chaotic.
Every woman I met, that was their analogy. Every woman I met. Every woman.
No one can guide me. I don't follow anyone. Everything must go my way.
I had a woman that I met. Nice woman, 5'7", beautiful. We had chemistry. I had more chemistry with her than any woman that I met since I've been here in Virginia. She was taking care of her mom. Her mom used to be like a general. Something happened where she signed over her rights, so she can't go back to the VA or something. I don't know what the story was. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. But this woman was taking care of her mom. Her mom loved me to death. She didn't like the fact that her mom liked me. And the reason why she didn't like the fact that her mom liked me, because she knew, look, I'm about to discharge him. Don't like him. He is not the type to like. He checked my ass. This and all that. Listen, sidebar. Whenever a woman don't introduce you to her family and you've been dating for a while, this and all that, or she kept me from her mom. They don't like you. I learned that when I lived up north. Alexandra Bridgman. Her father loved me to death. Her father, you know how we met? How me and Alexandra Bridgman met? Her father seen me driving her car. And I looked at him and he looked at me. I didn't know, but I'm just driving. And I'm just driving her car. And I looked at him and he looked at me. And when I looked over, he was like, such and such. All of a sudden, I'm looking in the thing. He busts a U-turn. I'm looking, this and all that. He came, drove up, got up on me. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? Blah, 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 blah. I ain't seen nothing. Then he just pulled off. About 5 minutes later, my phone rang. Hey, she was from Alexandra Bridgman was from Peru. And she was like, blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up meeting her father. Man, that dude fell in love with me, man. You know why? Because I owned a home. I was retired military. He thought I was one of the regular old fuck niggas that she normally deal with. But every woman, and I mean every woman, that was the narrative. You listen to me. But going back to that woman, I'm going to finish my take on that woman. Going back to that woman, She was behind on her mortgage. Her rent, excuse me. Her rent was $2,000 a month. I was about to give her her rent money, get her caught up. But I remember when I brought this car, I sent her a text message. I brought this car. I brought it in North Carolina. And I said, hey, I need you to take me to North Carolina to pick up my niece. I brought a car. I texted her. When it was time to take me, she was like, oh, I didn't know it was in North Carolina. I said, look at the text. But because it meant a 2-hour drive, oh no, help you with a two. Now I was going to give her $4,000 to get caught up on her rent, right? She couldn't hit me off with a 2-hour drive. And that is what's in the landmines of relationships you're dealing with. That's what's there. That's what's there.
Many women are learning this the hard way as dating becomes more chaotic, marriage rates plummet, and loneliness rises. Many modern women have been conditioned to believe that authority in a marriage is oppressive, outdated, or rooted in patriarchy. But the same women who reject the idea of male authority often still expect a man to show up as a leader in every area that benefits them, financially, emotionally, socially, and even spiritually. They want a man who...
You experience this. You guys experience this. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. You guys experience this when you hear them say, you ain't no real man. I just want to say for the record, I never had a woman say that to me. The brainwashing insults is what you guys go through when you deal with these creatures. Stop.
Can guide, protect, and provide, yet they recoil at the idea of yielding to direction, structure, or accountability. This contradiction is at the heart of the growing disconnect between men and women today. What used to be understood as balance and partnership is now viewed as power dynamics. And instead of honoring that balance, many modern women try to negotiate their way into having all the benefits with none of the responsibility.
Woo! How did this happen? How did women get to this point where they want all the benefits with none? You know how women got there? Women got there due to the welfare system. The welfare system telling them that you can just, America has spoiled the women today. They spoiled them. And because they spoiled them, it's like, it's like, I actually got to work in a relationship. Yeah, you got to work.
This mindset becomes especially obvious when you listen to the way many women talk about relationships. They want a man to be alpha, but only if that alpha energy is selectively convenient. They want him to take the lead when it comes to finances, planning, protection, and crisis situations. But when that same leadership shows up in household standards, boundaries, or expectations, suddenly it's controlling. They want a man to be strong but soft, decisive but deferential, confident but not authoritative. In other words, they want leadership that bends around their emotions, choices, and impulses.
Yep.
Not leadership that actually leads. This creates chaotic relationships because no man can be both the leader and the follower at the same time.
Woo!
The root of this tension can be traced back to decades of messaging that taught women to view male authority as inherently negative. Instead of seeing structure as a form of protection.
Say that again. They have learned to take male authority and now view it as negative. Why they don't view being fat and sloppy as negative? Why they don't view having debt as negative? You know, if you really want to take a look at what we've seen in the last 30 years, we have stuck with the traditional things of life: debt, high cost and utilities, rent, structure like that. We still, as men, deem those things the obstacles in life. Women have not done this. These women sit down here and say, all these things that you now get from a man, push back life issues and perspectives. It's what a man is trying to do to you. It's what a man said you should do. Don't do that to him for that. Don't take that from a man. A man, a man, a man, a man, a man, a man. All these things, all cap. You fell for it. I didn't. That's what you hear when you hear me speak. I don't fall for none of this garbage and rhetoric. Here's what I know. Every time a woman opens her mouth, the words that come out of her mouth will be setting up deception. First, I will sit down there and listen to her, and my brain will sort out what's real and exactly where she thinks she's going with it. Because again, they are nothing, and they do nothing but build their perspective and narrative on deception. Yeah, deception.
Many women now see it as dominance instead of inherently negative. Instead of seeing structure as a form of protection, many women now see it as dominance. Instead of seeing submission as cooperation, they see it as weakness. And instead of seeing a marriage as a two-way street, they see it as a platform for self-expression, where the
now I want to be clear. You can test and you can check all these things and see if you are dealing with a woman that accepts if you are dealing with a woman that accepts 1% of any of these narratives, I feel sorry for you. If you're on this platform right now saying, yeah, my lady do that, yeah, my wife do that, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. You're getting your bunhole popped, aren't you? Yeah, you wear panties, don't you? Don't get mad at me. You get mad at how you feel when you wake up.
And is expected to adjust, adapt, and compromise at every turn. This mindset has encouraged a generation of women to believe that they can rewrite the fundamentals of partnership simply by declaring independence, without actually understanding how relationship dynamics work. What complicates things even further is the modern echo chamber that rewards women for rejecting accountability. Social media reinforces the idea that any expectation placed on a woman is an attack. Any boundary is abuse.
Any expectations placed on a woman is an attack. I'm gonna need a minute. And I really mean a minute. Oh, fuck that. Listen. I cracked myself up. One of the things that my mom showed me, is that is the sisterhood, again, the sisterhood, they're worse than a mob. What my mom showed me is that the mob has more morals than them. If you believe that you are dealing with somebody, they just like that when they mad, and you come up with all these narratives as to why you accept it. Hey, that's on you. But I'm here to tell you, nah, bruh, ain't happening. But again, you can believe that if you want to. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it.
And any structure is oppression. Meanwhile, women who embrace discipline, cooperation, and feminine energy are often mocked as pygmies or weak.
Ooh.
The loudest voices are encouraging women to prioritize self over marriage, feelings over responsibility, and temporary.
You heard that? Any woman that gives into the way they normally are pygmies. Any woman that actually wants to be a woman is a pygmy. You see how delusion that is? No other country's women are like this. No other country's women are like this. Not one. No other country are the women so in tuned with their delusion. No other country is like this. Canada is not like this. Mexico is not like this. This perspective and narrative only exists in America due to the platforms of welfare, due to the platforms of no-fault divorces. It has created a comfort zone for a woman's delusion. That's what it did. That's what it did.
Freedom over long-term stability. But the reality is this: relationships cannot operate without hierarchy, direction, and leadership. Not because men want control, but because order is necessary for a household to function. It has reached a point where many men no longer see.
Order is necessary for a household to function. And let's be clear. When you look at all the problems that women have, they're bringing all these social narratives into the home. Huh? So where the man says territorial, this is where I have my man cave, you do this over there, the children over there. Women want to bring that narrative inside the home. That's what Atia LaShawn Bradley did, by the way. Atia did that. Atia tried to bring all of the issues that her friends had into our life. I'm like, you don't pay nothing for this house because my tenants pay the mortgage for this house, the mortgage for that house. And I had one house where one house paid all three mortgages. I said, you got a good life. So what I used to, Atia sat there and said, yay. Now I got to explain to her how good it is. I said this, and I want y'all to listen to what I said. This is what I said. You will meet a woman, as I met Atia LaShawn Bradley. Atia LaShawn Bradley was living in a room. It wasn't a rooming house. It was a house in South Orange, New Jersey, on Park Drive in South Orange, New Jersey. Big ass. I think it was like 315, 333, on Park Drive in South Orange, New Jersey. Beautiful home. Half moon driveway, 2 acres, beautiful. And the man that owned it, his job brought it for him. He was from the West Coast. His job brought it for him because he was like in IT tech, and they brought him the house for relocation. So he was like renting out. Atia never seen him. The house was huge. I own homes. So you went from a rooming house to my house to the woman of the house, and you got to be all these things. And then after a while, they wasn't good enough for you. So you start trying to check me on the lifestyle that I gave you. The lifestyle that I gave you was it was less than you. The lifestyle that I gave you, it had too many flaws in it. This is what women want you to believe. You can meet a woman. All right, check this out. You can meet a woman, and that woman could have been living, I'm gonna use an example, a rooming house. When I come to your house, I just want to decompress. Your house is so nice. Blah, blah, blah of the cobbler sma. Oh yeah, this and that. Relax, this and all that. All these things, they relax. Then all of a sudden, you moved them in. They forgot they used to live in a rooming house. Now they want to talk about, I don't know, the tiles on your floor. I like carpet. Why you got tiles? I don't like this. We should do it that way. This room would be better off if it was this color. You don't appreciate it no more. That's what y'all fall for. Yeah, you do. Shut up, boy. I'll knuckle you. I'll knuckle you. Shut up. But this is what y'all fall for. You do. You do. Because every woman tried it with me. And I'm like, okay. But this is what they do. They have zero appreciation for the life. And now they treat the good life that they have. They go outdoors and get experience from the social perspective. And then they bring them in and try to dictate these perspectives to you inside the home. That's what women do. That's what she means.
Marriage as a stable, not because men want control, marriage, feelings over responsibility, and temporary freedom over long-term stability. But the reality is this: relationships cannot operate without hierarchy, direction, and leadership. Not because men want control, but because order is necessary for a household to function. It has reached a point where many men no longer see marriage as a stable institution. Instead, they see it as a situation where they carry all the responsibility while having none of the authority to lead effectively. This is why so many...
I want to be clear about that. That's the problem right there. If you think that a woman got to give you the authority, really? You really think that we got to sit down and discuss who's the boss? Do you now? You think we're going to sit down here and we're going to say, okay, you're the leader and I'm the... Let me tell you again. I'm going to take you back to the orderly room. When I was in the military, the recreation room, excuse me. We're in the recreation room, we shooting pool. It was this woman named Green. Green was thick, bad, beautiful, tall. She was from Chicago. Green thought she was going to say some slick shit to moi. I'm Newark, New Jersey's finest. So we was in the recreation room, we talking, and then she said some slick shit to me. I let her finish. I said, I'm holding a pool stick. I'm not even looking at her. I'm just listening to her. Good shot. As she talking to me, I'm like, yeah, good shot. Good shot. You finish? She's on my 9 o'clock. You finish? Yeah. Stay in your place. Stay in your fucking place. You're a woman. Stay in your fucking place. I have no idea what she said after that. Not going back and forth with a woman. A pit bull don't go back and forth with a poodle. No. My authority, my power, my strength will not be questioned. It won't. It won't be questioned. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. I'm going to let her continue, but not happening. Allow you to lead, allow you to shit.
And are opting out, walking away, or choosing partnerships, only a situation where they carry all the responsibility while having none of the authority to lead effectively. This is why so many men are opting out, walking away, or choosing partnerships only when they can verify that the woman genuinely respects direction and structure. Men know that without authority, responsibility becomes a trap. Yet many modern women still expect men to serve, sacrifice, and secure the household without offering the respect and cooperation that has always balanced that dynamic. They want the rewards of marriage without the order that makes those rewards possible. As this tension grows, it's creating a generation of older women who are deeply confused about why they cannot form lasting relationships. They bragged for years about being independent, not needing a man, and refusing to be controlled. But now, in their 40s and 50s, they are discovering that independence without companionship becomes loneliness, that freedom without structure becomes
Very well said. They are now understanding that independence now equals to loneliness, because you got to let them be. This is why when women come back, when I listen to women that think that, oh, we talking now and this and all that, I'm saying to myself, I'm not, you're not getting me under the terms in which you had me before. Now you got to be 100% pure woman. You got to set everything up. You got to set the house. You got to do everything. Since this is where it's going to be, I'm gonna give you my version of it. I'm not, if you live in an apartment, I'm never coming to your house. I don't do apartments. Don't do apartments. Not doing no shit where if I want to park my car and walk into a house. I don't want to park my car, got to take an elevator. I don't want to, like I said, park my car, got to jump in the elevator, this and all that. I'm on level, E2. Don't want to do that. I mean, if you want to do this, let's do this. Get a house, get all this stuff, and then I'll come over because I got it made right now. I'm not opting in for the other way. And then I'll decide if you're worthy enough or not. I'll decide.
Stability, and that rejecting masculine authority has left them without the very type of man they hope to attract.
Very well said.
Many are realizing too late that leadership is not oppressive. It is foundational. And that a man who cannot lead, cannot protect, cannot guide, and ultimately cannot build with a woman who won't allow him to operate in his natural role. The truth is that stable relationships...
She's saying all the right things. She ain't saying nothing wrong, but it really just burns my ears to hear. That is true shit. I'm not allowed to operate at my fullest. That is ass trash with a two-piece.
Requires structure, and structure requires leadership. When women expect men to provide stability, but deny them the ability to lead, the relationship becomes unbalanced, unproductive, and ultimately unsustainable. You cannot extract benefits from a system you refuse to participate in. You cannot demand strength from a man whose role you undermine, and you cannot build a partnership while simultaneously rejecting the architecture that produces harmony. This is the reality unfolding right in front of us.
Wow.
A reality that many women resist acknowledging until the consequences appear in isolation, disappointment.
Very well said. They will ignore it until they get old. I've been telling y'all that. I am watching it. I'm 56 years old. I am watching women crash out. I am watching and listening to women throw out theories that they honored. I am looking at women today and can't believe my ears when they say, why aren't we married? I'm like, for 30 years, I watched you do nothing but give married motherfuckers ass. I watched you give married dudes ass because you wanted nothing to do with a relationship. You wanted nothing to do with a relationship. What are you talking about? Like I'm supposed to say, okay, we're getting married. Yeah, 55. No, I'm not marrying nobody. Not marrying nobody did I date it before. No, you had me then. The last serious relationship I was in was 10 years ago. I'm 56. Damn. And what is it about me to make individuals want to come back to me? No, you didn't want. So don't want now. So that's what you mean when you say that. They're now realizing, oh, whoa, this was, I signed up for the ass trash movement.
And regret, harmony. This is the reality unfolding right in front of us. A reality that many women resist acknowledging until the consequences appear in isolation, disappointment, and regret. Final reality check. The refusal to accept a husband's authority is not producing happier lives, stronger families, or better relationships. It's producing instability, resentment, and confusion. Because relationships require structure, and modern culture taught women to reject the very idea of structure. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like and a comment. And if it is your first time on the channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share the video. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit that super thanks button.
All right. So Again, that was Virtuous Woman, 1969. I'll put her link below the video when I get back to the house later on. That woman is the absolute truth. I love every video. Every video that she make is an absolute hit. When I first started watching her channel, I used to think, damn, she talked about this already. Then I realized, no, she dead on. Oh no, yup. And the definition that she used, everything that she say, dead on. So I'm gonna leave you guys right now, but I'm gonna end it and I'm gonna say this: Westernized woman, y'all are trash. Nobody wants y'all. You know it. And I want to be clear, because you can't get these creatures to understand this. Don't nobody want these creatures. You'd be an absolute ass to want a woman, American woman. You'll be an ass. You'll be an ass not to want an American woman, number one, and number two, run the cycle of what you understand.
The one thing a man is not going to
what you understand
do when he is not feeling the.
So, you know, I guess the question is, are there things that
the cycle of women, you'll be a fool to not help these women understand? Well, this is what the culture of women is. Explain to me how you're different. So are you saying to me, I'm not going to get this from you? You know, I help every woman I talk to understand this. I'm not going to act as if, oh no, this is an isolated, the current curriculum of the sisterhood is an isolated thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to help them understand. Nope. This is what y'all are.
When I hear
Western men that are flying out east to find wives.
So listen to this.
I think that we just got a very.
Here's a woman, you know, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it with this. Here's a woman that was told that she's fashionist. She don't like women. Here's a woman that, because she comes with the perspective of trying to raise the consciousness of women, they're attacking her. Oh no. So when the people that can articulate very well is attacked, it never works out well for the people that's trying to attack. So, because it's only going to force the people that are well articulate to go into another depth of understanding. This is why I now say American women are trash. Don't nobody want y'all. Did you hear me? Was I saying that 2 and 3 months ago? Nope. I now know. Y'all trash. Nice one, good. Y'all are absolute 100% pure grade A trash. But here's a woman that as I said, she's been saying this and she needs a little help. So she made a video to get the message out. Won't y'all listen?
Selfish culture of women. And to anyone out there that say I have internalized misogyny or anything like that would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide.
So what she just said was, because I don't know if it came in clear. So she said, if there's anyone to say I am misogynistic and everything towards women, that would mean that I would have to be this way towards women, of all women, meaning worldwide. That's what she said. She said, I am only this way. Listen.
A problem with Western women. And if you think,
boom, but the average. But
we just got a problem with Western women. And if you think a problem with women, let's say I have internalized.
And you see these individuals, they are like this.
That would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide. I have a problem with Western women. And if you think I'm just like making this up out of nowhere, reflect on the fact that there are Western men that are flying out east to find wives. Are Eastern men coming out west to find wives? No. Where in the world are men flying out in droves to marry American women? Nobody wants us. What?
Nobody wants us. Don't be that dummy that do. Don't be that dummy. She just said nobody wants them, and they know this. Don't be that dummy hooking up with one of them. Later, y'all. I appreciate you for being here.